Hi, I'm Dave, and most of you won't know who I am. I've just joined the church. We've moved with my wife and my 18-month-old daughter here from the UK. And my story really starts, I was brought up in an amazing, loving family. My dad was the minister of a number of churches as I grew up, and my mum was in childcare and worked in nurseries. And they brought me up in a family where I knew not only how much my parents loved me, but how much God loved me. And I was one of 4 boys, and we were all fighting for my mum's attention and my dad's attention. But one thing I always knew was actually I didn't need to do that with God. From an early age, I knew that God loved me for who I was. And that was just amazing and a real privilege. And at high school, I realized that life wasn't normal for most people. My friends didn't go to church. They hadn't necessarily had the love shown to them like I had. And I started to get bullied quite heavily for that. Not for actually that I had a great life, but for my faith, for the fact that I went to church. And that was really hard. And for 2 years, I suffered quite severe bullying. I remember sat one morning on the edge of my bed, really not wanting to go to school, just remembering some of the words that my mum and dad had always brought me up knowing. And that was that Jesus wasn't distant, that he was always somebody that was there right next to me. And I just really clung on to that at that moment, sat on the corner of my bed, and I just really cried out to God. It wasn't a cry of God help me, but it was a cry of God how amazing you are, which when I look back now, I always think was a bit strange that it wasn't a help me, but it was a God, you're amazing, and I love you, and I want to honor you and praise you for everything that you've ever given me and done for me. At that moment, I wasn't overwhelmed with any sense of the Holy Spirit knocking me to the floor or anything physical, but I just got a real sense of his peace. And I went to school the next day, and something had changed, and I don't know if the bullying stopped or if I just had become resilient to it. But I knew that Jesus wasn't distant, but he was right there. And I learned that in those steps where my parents had honored God when they'd had tough times, it was that brought them healing, or it brought them a real, just joy and excitement. And the rest of my school, rest of high school was amazing. I was great academically. I made some great friends who I still am in touch with today, who have supported me coming out here to Australia. And it was in that move of honouring God back when I was 11, 12 years old that I just saw God do some amazing things.